Hi, I'm Britt.
And my name is Alissa.
And this is SkeleTales.
And this is the podcast where we strive to answer the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
Alissa, what was Dr. Frankenstein's New Year's resolution?
Wait, Frankenstein or Frankenstein?
It's the same, right? It's just how you say it. Frankenstein's Dr. Frankenstein's New Year's resolution.
He was going to get it together. And by it, he meant a bunch of body parts and put them together.
Close. To make new friends.
Oh, okay.
Dunk. All right. I got Why is partying in Times Square overrated?
Because
they drop the ball every year.
Oh. I like that one.
All right. One more. Last one.
Okay.
What do cows say on January 1st?
Happy New Year.
Yeah, you got it. Happy Moo Year to you, Alissa.
More like Boo Year, Britt. Happy Boo Year. After all, we are...
Oh, what kind of jokes? I didn't do a ghost one with Happy Boo Year. Failed.
Was it a dead cow?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely a dead cow. What did the dead cow say on January 1st?
Happy Boo Year, I'm sure. Hey, Britt, do we just always talk about dead cows on this podcast?
I think we have a couple times, probably.
Probably.
But no, we tell true tales of the strange, unusual, and paranormal.
Heck yeah, we do.
We've been on vacation for like a month.
Heck yeah, we have. I heard you had a real great a real staycation.
I went to Mexico at the start of our break. Yep. And so I actually was on the beach enjoying some beautiful sunsets and cocktails. I turned 40 in Mexico. It was amazing.
I forgot to wish you a happy birthday on the damn podcast.
Yeah. Thanks for that.
I know. Can I do a belated happy birthday to you?
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brittany. Happy birthday to you.
Oh my God.
Yeah?
Love it. Thank you. A month late and well worth the wait. Well worth the wait.
Well, happy belated birthday. I'm real sorry about that, but I'm glad you had a relaxing time.
I did, and then I came home and immediately got COVID. Didn't get it in Mexico. Got it from my nephew.
Oh, you know the starter monkey?
Patient zero.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah, patient zero. And so whole family got it. So we were in quarantine for Christmas. And it was, it's relaxing. We'll just say that. It was no hangovers except for the COVID kind. But if I sound a little nasally, I'm still recovering.
By relaxing, you mean terrible.
It was so sad. It was really sad.
I know. Poor Britt. I was checking in on her and she's like, physically, I'm feeling better. Mentally, not so good. I lost my taste and smell. Was it yet the day before or that morning? I was like, no.
I didn't realize how much joy I derived from tasting my food. It really was like an instantaneous, I can't taste food. Is life worth living? I don't know. I'm mostly back now, thank God. But good.
I literally was going to order you some pastries or something sweet, something tasty from a nearby shop and send it to you. And then you told me you lost your sense of taste and smell. And I was like, what's the point though? I guess just nourishment. I don't know why I thought maybe you just stopped eating and drinking, but cause literally what would be the point of sending you a treat if you couldn't enjoy it?
I know. I was eating the most boring food too. I was like, why even bother? Fine, I'll
Why
have a
both?
bean and spinach. Ugh.
But it's coming back, right? It's like, or is it back
Oh, yeah.
fully? Oh, you said you couldn't taste cheese.
I'm
still.
like at 85-90% back.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, we're doing okay.
Yeah, because some people lost it for
2023 is going to be
months.
great. Oh, I know. I was so worried about that. Nope, we're good. We're good over here.
Okay.
So, Alissa, what are we talking about today?
Oh, Brett, we are talking about unsolved mysteries. We think they're unsolved mysteries, at least.
Did you hear it?
The delay is substantial. You hit off and then I heard it. I was like trying to pretend I heard it, but I didn't hear it at all. I've actually been listening to the Unsolved Mysteries podcast. We were out for a hike, I think on Christmas Day, and Milo trailed behind a little bit, or he was going to go ahead of us or something. And I was like, no, you come here. Like, I'm listening to way too many unsolved mysteries, and the ones that are solved are not good. It's not a good resolution ever.
It's never
never a happy ending.
And this person is home and happy. It's great. Nope, they dead. They always dead. No, I binged that, and the one that stuck with me was the kid who was walking to their bus stop and then vanished and was never found again. And so now when my kids leave to go to the bus, I'm like, look everywhere around you. Don't get into cars.
Wait, you listened to the podcast?
Oh, yeah, I've binged it. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that gal, that was really haunting. The one, yeah. The girlfriend's boyfriend did it.
Oh, totally. The boyfriend. Always the boyfriend. All right, well, what are you bringing to the table tonight?
Okay, so first off, I have an update. The Great Glitter Conspiracy and the Great Glitter Shortage. Okay.
Wait, recap. You got to recap.
Okay, so a few episodes back, I briefed you on the glitter conspiracy. And basically, there is a major glitter shortage, and there are two major companies who make glitter in the United States, GlitterX Corporation, and I think the other one is Meadowbrook Glitter. And there's a Ghetto Brook nearby, by the way, but Meadowbrook. And but the GlitterX Corp is like something from Powderpuff Girls or something, don't you think? Like that is
sounds just fake. Like that.
Yes, I love it.
And like
though.
they got this smokestacks and like glitters poofing out of the smokestack. Totally, I'm there.
So someone had an interview with one of the reps from GlitterX, and the source was very tight-lipped and said that the company who's buying this glitter doesn't want anybody to know it's glitter, and that you wouldn't immediately know it was glitter by looking at it. You can tell it's something, but you wouldn't guess it was glitter. And so people heard this and they're like, what? And now everyone's wondering, what is it? And, like we speculated, we're like, it's got to be the government, right? Like that was what we kind of decided, and maybe some sort of cloaking, but like that doesn't really make 100%
well,
sense.
We talked about toothpaste or boat paint.
Boat paint.
Or I'm trying to remember now what all we talked about. But yeah, nothing really fit.
Yeah. And then like maybe off the record, we kind of were like, it's got to be military something, right? It's got to be the military. But it was also like stated that it was a consumable, maybe something we're eating. That's a lot of people's guess. Like they don't want you to know what it is because you're eating it.
Plastic. Yeah,
exactly. But also like, even if it was military though, like you would think that there's much more high tech products than glitter to like cloak.
Here's this highly explosive bomb filled with glitter.
Yeah, glitter bombs. That's our new source of torture. Like in war, it's just glitter bombs. Clean this up.
Everything.
Yeah. Honestly, not a
bad idea.
Yeah,
listen
really.
up, government. Get on it.
Regardless, I have the answer. I have a suggestion.
Okay.
A possible answer.
Okay.
And that is tampons. Specifically tampon applicators. Now, I didn't come up with this theory myself. I have to give credit to at Amanda Adams on TikTok, who lays out all the evidence, including like patent applications that include glitter in the manufacturing process of the applicator. And she like even shows the Tampax Radiant tampon applicator, and it
is shimmery.
It is shimmery. And I don't think you would like automatically think it's glitter, right? Unless like it was like a homemade tampon like that you roll in glitter and glue and stuff. Like, I mean, you definitely wouldn't look at it and be like, oh, it's made out of glitter.
It's true.
Right?
In fact, you probably tried to avoid looking at it altogether.
Why does it have to be glittery?
Going up the snatch.
The fact that it exactly. We should make like spooky tampons and tampon applicators, because then when they come out, like they look creepier because they're covered with blood. You should have like a like a ghost face and make them all creepy, and then they're blood streaked. Like that's
like some horror tampons. I'd buy the shit out of some horror tampons. I thought you were gonna say something like the applicators are empty because they're ghosts. They're like, ooh, a ghosty tampon.
Ghost tampon. Okay. They'll haunt your vagina. Like for menopause? Like, I'm so confused what application.
I don't know. But I love this idea. Of a horror.
A horror tampon.
A horror tampon, yeah.
Like special Halloween edition horror tampons.
Oh, extra bloody.
Yeah.
Just what everybody wants on their period. More blood.
I bet. With fake blood.
Fake blood included.
Your period's not bloody enough.
You could have the applicator that looks a little like a mummy, and you stuff them up your vagina.
Yes, exactly. Oh, wait, the actual tampon itself would be a mummy tampon? Or are we still talking about the applicator? Okay.
It could be both. All of it. Let's do it all.
Not a terrible idea. I'm going to write this down real quick. Horror tampons.
Amanda, well done. I mean, mostly, I'm sure she's right. Solving it. Oh my gosh.
That's not all.
Oh.
Okay.
I do have to side note. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but I do curbside pickup. So all of my ordering is on my phone. Okay. And I accidentally ordered some tampons. It's like all natural tampons. I was like, perfect. Nature. They did not include the applicator. So let's just say that's a horror tampon right there.
That is a horror tampon.
You're gonna want the applicator, people. I
don't understand how people use those. My friend
not cleanly
uses them. Well, not clean. They're just not comfortable. I just can't get them in there. My friend
use a stick for it.
Exactly. Use a stick from the yard. Include that in the instructions.
Nature. All natural, baby.
Does it include a stick in the box?
Oh my god.
Dude, we should start a tampon company. We have some great ideas.
Seriously, flawless ideas. Gonna make millions. Bring some money to the podcast. Ooh, sweating over here, laughing so hard.
Oh my god. Okay, where was I? Okay, so tampons.
We digressed.
Yeah, okay.
More glitter things. Okay.
So wait, there's more.
Okay.
Some guy comments on the video and says, I work for a shipping company and I've tracked deliveries from GlitterX Corp to a major medical plastics manufacturer.
Okay.
So she kind of has a little conversation with this fella. She's like, hey, can I make a video response to your comments? And then he deletes all his comments. But she'd already taken screenshots, and so she posted them anyway. And
yes,
like her receipts is that, and they think it was Procter and Gamble, who owns, I don't know, Tampax or Playtex or whatever. So then this raises the question of why Why would they not want people to know it's glitter? The glitter's in the patent. When you look at it, would you think it's glitter? It is sparkly, but I don't know if I would think it's glitter exactly.
The applicator?
Yeah. I just didn't think everything
literally would not have. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, anything sparkly wouldn't necessarily associate with glitter, but I guess it makes sense.
Is that the only way to make something sparkly is glitter? I don't know. Okay. So why? Why would they not want people to know it's glitter?
Yeah.
And possibly because there's like 6 billion plastic tampon applicators like used a year in the world, primarily in the US. That's a lot. And you can't recycle them. So they're already bad for the planet.
True. They're floating around in the ocean.
They're already so bad. So maybe they don't want to also be like, we're wasting glitter on them. This isn't a good, man. This isn't holding up. What do you think?
You're right, though. Like, there's nothing to be ashamed of. If it's a medical company, if they're putting it in like medicine, and that's where I think that it would be a hide up, is if people are actually ingesting this plastic and not realizing that they're ingesting it or using it for rubbing it on their skin, something that could make people sick.
Yeah, after I've said this, the fact if maybe people didn't already know that tampons were not recyclable, like they're already using plastic, right? They're already using plastic. They're already bad. So what does it matter if it's
using glitter
coated plastic? Never mind.
Unless if this study's been done that zinc coated things can give you uterine cancer and you're sticking it up your hoo-ha and it's giving you the cancers.
That's not bad. Yeah, because you are like inserting it. Glitter probably is not meant for inside your body, but it's like some technicality because it only is like, I don't know.
Because it's
okay. So also people said it was a consumable and people were taking that as edible, but like paper is a consumable. Tampons are a consumable. Not everyone is sold on this theory, but I do think it's pretty compelling. And ultimately,
it is compelling.
Glittergate.
And she's done some legwork. She's researched.
But ultimately, Glittergate is still a mystery.
An unsolved mystery. I love it. It's a good one. I want more input. Tell us, listeners. Please,
yeah, what do you think?
Enlighten us. What do you think?
Do you have a mystery that you would like to solve?
I have a mystery that has fascinated me since childhood.
Is it DB Cooper?
And did you hear that it was solved? Did you hear DB Cooper was solved?
No.
Yes.
Is he dead?
I watched a whole video. I mean, yeah.
Because that's how they all end. But did he die in the jump?
No.
Are you sure it's solved?
He may have died in the jump. I don't know. His body was never found. The money was never found. His body was never found. But they did find out who he was. And it was a man who worked at it was like a chemicals factory or something.
Because his tie.
Yes. Did you see this?
That. I've seen this. And because it was like Boeing too. And then something like Pennsylvania, I feel like was involved somehow.
Yes. They narrowed it down and there was only one person working at this factory at this time. And the tie was manufactured in this little window of time. And they were able to narrow it down to one person whose name I don't remember, but they did find him. But you got to Google it.
Wait, but they didn't...
They just found out who DB Cooper was. They didn't find out if he survived the jump or if he kept the money.
So he didn't go back to his like normal life or whatever afterwards?
No, he did not. But I mean, if you run off with a whole suitcase
But did the family say we never saw him again?
No idea. Didn't follow through that far.
This is not a satisfying mystery show so far. Hold on.
Solved.
Okay. I got my answers. So the fellow you're talking about is named Vince Peterson, and he regularly traveled to the Pacific Northwest on business for a company that was in Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania, and they operated a metal manufacturing company, and there were special patents on these specific metals and alloys they were using.
And they found that on the tie, right?
On the tie. And Peterson died back in 2002. And his son does not believe that his father was D.B. Cooper.
Oh, so the son was like, oh, just one day back in when was it, the 70s? Oh, one day he came and riding up in a brand new car. And then we all had a great Christmas that year.
That's what I want to know. I guess not, unless he had like a side. Maybe he had an extra family. Maybe he had a secret family. Maybe he had a gambling problem. He had to pay something off.
Oh,
had extreme measures. We don't know who this
D.B.
Cooper.
Also, like, did the son mention like that there was like some inheritance after the father passed away of like
not in this article
amount.
that I just briefly
I'm trying to
surmised.
remember how much money it was.
But he didn't disappear. Like he resurfaced. It was $200,000. And then some was already found on the bank of the Columbia River. And
he could have been the one to do it, botched the job, and then ended up losing the money, going home a little bruised and sad.
True. He could have lost all the money and the jump just like became detached from it. That's very possible.
The bag opens and it just is raining cash all over the jungle.
Oh, that's a bummer. But he's famous.
Solved.
But he can't ever claim the fame. I would totally confess that on my deathbed or write it somewhere and tuck it away. Once I hit 80 or whatever.
Right.
I'd be like,
yes.
I need people to know that. Suckers. Okay.
Ooh.
That was my guess. And
we are doing great about sidetracking.
Okay, obviously your story is not about D.B. Cooper.
This is a story that has fascinated me, perplexed me since childhood. This is the unsolved mystery of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, ooh.
That's right.
Okay.
Also known as Devil's Triangle. I've discovered.
Okay.
I got a lot of my information about the Bermuda Triangle from BuzzFeed Unsolved, a new gem that I found on the YouTube.
I did not know that existed, so I'm very excited. Okay.
I don't think the two guys are putting out new content, but this is from an older thing they did on the Bermuda Triangle. So for your information, use that photographic memory of maps of the world that you have stored away in your head.
Okay, it's in the lower right.
Imagine a little triangle starting in Miami, bing, to Puerto Rico, boom, to, you guessed it, Bermuda, ding. It's a triangle in the Atlantic Ocean. Ding, 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 triangle. From the year 1946 to the year 1991, an estimated 100 disappearances have occurred in this Bermuda Triangle, this area. Even further back than 1946, it has been noted that Christopher Columbus had mentioned strange occurrences in the Bermuda Triangle area. They mentioned the compass acting strange and that there being lights in the distance and a possible fireball was witnessed on the ship.
Can I say that I did not know Miami was involved in this triangle, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought it was like
Florida.
Way further out at sea.
Me too. I thought it was kind of the middle of nowhere ocean land. No, this is like highly trafficked area, which we can kind of discuss a little bit later. So in 1918, the USS Cyclops, one of the US's largest fuel ships, disappears. No distress call, despite other ships being nearby. Nothing. Just 1 minute it was there, the next, gone. No sign of the wreckage, no sign of passengers, nothing. It's gone. And it's a huge ship. Gone.
I love the name Cyclops.
Me too. There's some good names actually here for some ships. In 1948, a plane with 26 people in it flying to Florida radioed in and said, "Hey, we're 20 minutes away from landing." Psst, never heard of again. Plane vanishes. All the people on the plane never found. Completely gone in the Bermuda Triangle.
Okay.
In 1951, a ship called the Southern District was a U.S. Navy ship, vanished. 5 years later, though, however, a life preserver floats ashore with the ship's name on the preserver. So that was like kind of the first time that there's been an indication that this ship, something happened.
Something happened.
Something happened. A preserver comes up on the shore. In 1967, a cabin cruiser called Witchcraft claimed to be unsinkable. It had this strange flotation device in the hull of the ship, preventing it from sinking at all. And there were 2 passengers on this ship, a seasoned boatman named Dan, who did end up calling, whilst in the Bermuda Triangle, called the Coast Guard. He was calm and he said, the boat's hit something and we will be needing some assistance. So the Coast Guard arrives to the area that he gave. The Witchcraft, nowhere to be found.
They hit something. Interesting.
They hit, but if it had this like huge flotation device that made it impossible to sink. So at the very least, the hull should still be floating. No life preservers, no humans, no flares going off, nothing. The boat just completely gone. This story is the most perplexing to me. In 1945, 5 bomber planes depart Florida on a training mission. The weather was good, the waters were calm, the skies were calm. And these planes were called the Iron Birds because they were so indestructible. So of these 5 planes, they carried a total of 14 men, including the instructor, a guy named West. So West's plane just vanishes. And these other planes aren't sure where he is. They're claiming that their compasses are malfunctioning. And one pilot calls in a distress call. And the recording says, "We can't find West. Everything is wrong. We can't be sure of any direction. Everything looks strange, even the ocean." 15 minutes later, they get another distress call. "We can't make out anything. We think we may be about 225 miles northeast of base. It looks like we're entering white water. We're completely lost." All 5 ships vanished. No sign of any pilots, no sign of the planes, not in the air, not in the water, nothing. So shortly after that second distress call, they send out a Mariner flying boat to rescue these guys who are completely lost, apparently. And the Mariner boat radios in one time, and it vanishes. It is never found. So after that, the U.S. Navy did this thorough search of the area, looking for, I guess now, 6 planes that have completely vanished out of the air. Nobody's found. Nothing is found. And the Navy is quoted as saying, "We are not even able to make a good guess as to what happened." No idea.
What year was that?
1945.
Okay.
And it appeared that, like, since 1991, there aren't any other, like, documented cases. And I have to believe that's because of technology and things having GPS and tracking and all of this nature. So we actually do know now, like, oh, they're lost, or, oh, now we know where we are, or, oh, they sunk.
Yeah.
But we don't know.
They can find their way back.
Sure.
Or
the
aliens moved.
Oh, girl. Just wait. So there are 5 theories that are worth noting. You hopped ahead a little bit.
Sorry.
We can talk about that. Yeah. People think that it could be the work of extraterrestrials. No, hold on.
Yeah, not extra.
1, 2, 3, 4. They're not extra.
Mm-mm. They're less.
They're just basic terrestrials.
Yeah.
Terrestrials. Okay, the work of terrestrials, extra ones, because they abduct. Some people theorize that these boats and planes have been abducted by aliens, and that there is a secret U.S. base in the Bahamas called Underwater Area 51. And they're trying to solve these alien cases. In 2014, apparently, there was a cruise ship passing through the Bermuda Triangle, and 2 passengers said that they saw a UFO fly over during the daylight, broad daylight, UFO fly over the cruise ship.
They were like, bad that I'm judging people on cruise ships and being like,
not bad at all. Judge away.
Open bar. I don't know. I feel like cruise ship people, I'm surprised they don't see more UFOs on cruise ships.
Everyone's seeing them.
But that's what I was thinking when you said like Florida and Miami. I'm like, isn't that like, that I feel like that's highly trafficked.
Yes. Well, and
cruise
so
ships,
that's what a lot of people say, is that they're like highly trafficked area. In the grand scheme of numbers, statistically, there aren't necessarily any more people that are disappearing there versus the rest, but just because there are so many more people traveling, it would appear that it's a higher number because there's just more people traveling.
I'm still superstitious. I wouldn't want to go through the Bermuda Triangle. Like, is it common for cruise ships
not even
to
on
go
a
through?
Sweet cruise ship to Bermuda?
No. Have you seen the movie Poseidon?
No.
Adventure or some shit? No. You should watch. Well, yeah, sure.
I get really
it.
motion sick, so boats in general are just not a good idea for me. Okay, theory number 2. People say it's just a naturally dangerous place to travel. It's super deep waters, so where it's just these pockets of crazy deep. So when ships would sink, nobody's reaching the ship. The New York Times, I read something that weather conditions there tend to be more extreme, and they have these things called white squalls, which are intense, unexpected storms that arrive without warning on otherwise clear days. And they say that could be a probable culprit for what's happening with these random ships that are disappearing on perfectly calm days.
Okay.
Others theorize that it is a magnetic phenomenon. They say that it's proven that it is a place where true north and magnetic north line up, which could affect compass readings and also cause lightning storms. This one gets me because I don't know what magnetic north is. I know true north on a compass. I know what that is, but I don't know what magnetic north is. But I can see how it could fuck up a compass, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm confused. So that makes sense.
Here's a good one. Some people say that those who were lost at sea in the Bermuda Triangle now reside in the lost city of Atlantis.
Oh, wait a minute. Sign me up.
I know.
Okay.
Apparently, Atlantis is a thriving city under the waters of the Atlantic Ocean, and that this city is creating energy and power, and that this power is affecting those ships and planes that are above the waters because Atlantis is real. It's down there.
Okay.
I don't know a lot about Atlantis, but I'm going to... that one.
No,
okay.
I don't know if I don't think Atlantis. Well, You know what? I don't fucking know because there's supposedly big ass. I do believe that there might be UFOs down there. So.
You're going to like this one, Alissa. Last one.
Okay.
Last theory here. They believe that the Bermuda Triangle is a gateway to another universe.
Yeah.
A black hole of sorts. Time travels are unpredictable. There was a flight instructor named Bruce who claims to have escaped the Bermuda Triangle. He says that when he entered it, he was immersed in a thick, disorienting, gray, hazy fog that lasted for about 3 minutes. His map then indicated that he was above Miami, a flight that should have taken him 90 minutes, but only really took him 40 minutes. Ooh. So he's flying to Miami and then time-lapsed.
What year was that one? Do you know?
Ooh, I didn't write that year down. My guess would be the 90s.
Oh, okay,
I didn't write it down. Sorry.
I mean, I love that idea. I don't know.
I like that. I think that might be my favorite one. I think realistically, it is probably something with like nature and magnets and storms and stuff. But I really want to believe the black hole theory.
Have you ever seen, there's a video out there of like a boat crossing water somewhere and a fucking island forming like underneath it, like because there's an underwater volcano or something that's going and it's like forming as it goes. So, I mean, some crazy shit happens out there in nature.
Crazy shit happens out there.
Yeah. And I do scoff at this idea of the lost city of Atlantis. Like, okay, I don't know if the people who are captured from there are taken to Atlantis. Possibly. The world is large. The oceans are large. There's been fighter pilots or whatever who've seen craft in the ocean.
I'm sorry. I'm debunking that one.
At the bottom of the Marinara Trench. That's not what it's called.
Some pasta down there.
And now I can't think of it. Mariana Trench. Okay. Anyway, I love this, but I don't want technology to debunk it. That's it. I love them. I like the excitement.
I love the mystery of it and the lore.
I do too. Yes. Nice job. I just really thought it was like way further out. I didn't know
Me too.
I could accidentally stumble in the Bermuda Triangle on a cruise. Do you think they announced that on the cruise ship? We are now entering the Bermuda Triangle.
I mean, I hope so, but it's a pretty large area if you think about it.
I would not enjoy myself if I knew that we were in there.
The captain was like, "We're in the Bermuda Triangle now." Everyone's seeing UFOs if he announces it. Everyone's like, "I've had 16 pina coladas and there's aliens around us."
Okay, that I wouldn't mind. That's fine. Bring that on. It's more of the disappearing without a trace parts of my boat. Cruise ship, my cocktail glass washing up on
You
shore.
know what it made me remember, though, was the 2014 Malaysian flight.
Yes.
That nowhere. And I looked it up. I was like, where has it been found? Still hasn't been found. They have found bits and pieces of it, but it's the main body of the plane and any of the remains of passengers. Nothing.
Yeah, that one is a bit wild. Like, really, they need the black box from that one to understand. But if they found the black box, they might understand. It's kind of like that Amelia Earhart, right? Like,
yes,
or will they ever know if they find the black box? But there will be these theories and theories and theories, and every year they're going to be like, "Oh," but they still haven't found her plane, right? Like, they have a pretty.
I mean, that was a long time ago, though. That's probably disintegrated on the ocean floor somewhere.
Oh my God! There's like coconut crabs. Have you heard? Tangent.
Okay, I am so. Are you going to tell me a coconut crab or save that for a different day? Because I want to know. I'm ready for your story.
So my next story is called the Nevada 11. It's not 11, it's 15. I don't know. I didn't even write 11. Oh, Lordy. Okay. It's the Nevada 15. And even Snopes can't explain this one. There is like no explanation. So in 1950, the West Side Baptist Church in Beatrice, Nebraska exploded at 7:25 p.m., which was 5 minutes after choir practice was scheduled to begin. The explosion demolished the church. It shattered windows of neighboring homes and forced a local radio station off the air. The choir was composed of 15 members of this community, yet no one was killed in the blast because every single member of the choir happened to be late on this particular evening for a variety of reasons. So,
I got goosebumps.
Right? So 1 in 4, like, maybe might be late, on a normal night, but all 15. So this, by the way, is from both Snopes and Reader's Digest. It happened on the evening of March 1st in the town of Beatrice, Nebraska. And in the afternoon, the Reverend Walter Klempel had gone to the Westside Baptist Church to get things ready for choir practice. He lit the furnace, and most of the singers had the habit of arriving by 7:15, and it was chilly in the church, and he went home to dinner. But at 7:10, when it was time for him to go back to the church with his wife and daughter, Marilyn Ruth, it turned out that Marilyn Ruth's dress was soiled. So they waited while Mrs. Klempel ironed another, and thus were still at home when it happened. LaDonna Vandergrift, a high school sophomore, was having trouble with a geometry problem. She knew practice began promptly and always came early, but she stayed to finish the problem. Royina Estes was ready, but the car would not start. So she and her sister called LaDonna Vandergrift and asked her to pick them up. But LaDonna was the girl with the geometry problem.
Had to solve the problem.
And the Estes sisters had to wait. Sadie Estes' story was the same as Royana's. All day they had been having trouble with the car and it just refused to start. Mrs. Leonard Schuster would ordinarily have arrived at 7:20 with their small daughter Susan. But on this particular evening, Mrs. Schuster had to go to her mother's house to help her get ready for a missionary meeting. Herbert Kiff, the lathe operator, would have been ahead of time, but had put off an important letter. "I can't think why," he said, and he lingered over it and was late. It was
like he was writing a letter to somebody.
He was like, "I need to go to choir, but I need to get this letter written."
Have to do it.
Yes. So he wrote a letter. It was a cold evening, and stenographer Joyce Black was just feeling plain lazy, stayed in her warm house until the last possible moment, and she was almost ready to leave when it happened. Because his wife was away, machinist Harvey Aul was taking care of his 2 boys. He was going to take them to practice with him, but somehow he got wound up talking. When he looked at his watch, he saw he was already late. Marilyn Paul, the pianist, had planned to arrive a half hour early. However, she fell asleep after dinner, and when her mother awakened her at 7:15, she had time only to tidy up and start out. Mrs. F.E. Paul, the choir director and mother of the pianist, was late simply because her daughter was. She had tried unsuccessfully to awaken the girl earlier. High school girls Lucille Jones and Dorothy Wood are neighbors and customarily go to practice together. Lucille was listening to a 7 to 7:30 radio program and broke her habit of promptness because she wanted to hear the end, and Dorothy waited for her. At 7:25...
Gosh.
At 7:25, with a roar heard in almost every corner of Beatrice, the Westside Baptist Church blew up. The walls fell outward. The heavy wooden roof crashed straight down like a weight in a dead fall. But because of such matters as a soiled dress, a catnap, and an unfinished letter, a geometry problem, and a stalled car, all of the members of the choir were late. Something which had never occurred before.
My gosh. Why is somebody blowing up a church, Alissa?
No. They think it was just a gas leak.
Like the furnace?
Yes.
Do they think it had to do with the lighting of the furnace?
Yeah, they think that a broken pipe outside had been ignited by the fire in the furnace.
Wow.
And of course, it was
wow.
a church group. So they're all like, "It's a miracle."
Of course.
I don't know.
Yes.
So the odds of it happening, the odds of this were literally like 1 in a million. 1 in a million that they would all be late for a variety of reasons.
And what time was practice supposed to start?
It was supposed to start at 7:20. They usually arrived at 7:15, but the explosion was at 7:25 and no one was there. Not a single soul in the church.
Beautiful story.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. And no even really like, I just needed to finish that math problem.
I'm with the gal who's like, I was just being lazy. Just feeling lazy.
I just didn't really want to leave my warm, cozy house.
Yeah. I mean,
so good.
It kind of reminds me of like 9/11 and those sorts of disasters where people are like,
yeah, there were the few where it was like, I was supposed to be in there, but
missed
ABC
my train
happened.
or my power went out and I woke up late. Yeah, those sorts of things. But a whole
it really does
building of
make
people
you feel like you should, where it's like, I just didn't really feel like doing that thing. Like, don't beat yourself up about it. It was some higher energy power telling you that you weren't supposed to be on time to that thing.
That's often how I calm myself down when I'm late. I'm like, not meant
Everybody
to be.
think about this story.
Yeah, exactly. And you would think, oh, it's divine intervention. But the church exploded. Maybe they're just terrible singers. And God's like, we got
Please
it.
Stop.
Yeah.
Let's break this thing up.
We put an end to this.
What is it called? The what 15?
It was called the Nebraska 15.
So good. All right. I have a mystery that has been solved. So I am kind of breaking the rules a little bit.
Kind of. The rule was unsolved. It's okay. Let me guess. They're dead. No. Okay. It's okay.
This is about the mysterious disappearance of Harold Wayne Lavelle, who disappeared from his Chicago home in 1977. The then 19-year-old Lavelle told his family that he was looking for construction work and that he had done some odd jobs for a local contractor. That contractor's name was John Wayne motherfucking Gacy. That's right. In case you are unfamiliar with him, Gacy was one of America's most notorious serial killers, responsible for the deaths of at least 33 boys and young men, some of whom remain unidentified. To this day, some of whom remain unidentified to this day. Once the extent of Gacy's crimes was known, Lavelle's fate became obvious to everyone. He was one of Gacy's victims. That was what his family believed for over 3 decades, until they found out that Harold was alive and well. That's right. The Illinois Sheriff's Department finally tracked Lavelle down in 2011 after renewed effort to identify the remaining victims. So there were, I want to say that there were like 3 to 5 remains that were found at Gacy's house that they had not been able to identify who they were. And so now that DNA evidence and searching and all of that was, new and great and finding things, they, rehashed these victims' bodies to try to match them with Lavelle. So it turns out he'd run away from home following a fight with his mother and stepfather and then moved to Florida, where he worked as a landscaper and shipbuilder. He had no idea that his family had thought him dead all of these years.
Oh my God. I wonder how many like Gacy documentaries and whatnot his face was like flashed in because everyone just assumed
that it was him.
Yes. But dude, you just ghost your family for all that time and never like follow back up after a fight.
And it's so bizarre too, because once they discovered, they were like, oh no, he's alive. He is,
he just doesn't like you.
In Florida. They put him on a bus and like sent him back to Chicago where his family was. And he's like, oh, hey guys, hug, hug, hug. Like, missed you. Apparently not enough to call you. Like, it's very bizarre. But yeah, 19 years old, leaves, has a fight with his mom, leaves and goes and finds some contract work with John Wayne Gacy, but doesn't get murdered, just leaves, probably makes some money and goes to Florida.
He worked for John Wayne Gacy and then took off.
Didn't get murdered though. dodged that bullet.
They're positive John Wayne Gacy committed these murders and it wasn't this fella who disappeared from the face of the map.
I mean, I think I've watched enough documentaries on John Wayne Gacy.
I'm like so gross out by him. Like as soon as you mentioned his name, I didn't breathe for like 3 minutes. I just held my breath because I'm so grossed out by him.
The worst.
Oh, the forensic genealogy is what you're talking about, I think. Wait, how'd they found a dude using DNA down in Florida? Like, did he have a family and everything down there then? Or did he do 23andMe?
So they opened the case again. And I think what they determined was that none of these bodies of these 3 to 5 bodies are Lavelle. And so then the family is like, well, where the shit is our kid? And that's how they found him. They tracked him down since they knew he wasn't a murder victim.
Jesus, that's wild. There was just a case that was in the news, a couple of weeks ago about the boy in the box in Philadelphia. And it's this kind of long-standing cold case. And it was a little boy who was found in 1957 or something like that in a box, like a big box in a field in the outskirts of Philadelphia, a rural area, and no one came forward to claim him. They didn't exactly know how old he was. He was dead, by the way. I didn't mention that. So,
spoiler.
They like sent out flyers. There was this whole huge initiative to try to find this kid. They even put his picture in like electric bills and stuff like, and it's just been this case that's been cold for 60, 70 years or whatever.
They did DNA?
They did DNA and they just announced that they know who he is. That his name is Joseph Augustus Zarelli was his name. And they know the parents. They didn't release the parents' name because he has living siblings still and they're trying to protect the family or something. But so now these people are just finding out that they have this like brother that their parents may have been involved, their deceased parents. Like it's wild. But the police at the time had paid for his burial and his gravestone and stuff. But 70 years later, they figured it out using a family tree.
Fascinating.
Like 23andMe. Well, not 23andMe. There's another one called GEDmatch or FTDNA. But then my DNA is on GEDmatch. And I was like, that's crazy that like someone just like uploaded their stuff to GEDmatch and they don't know. Do they even know that they're involved in this cold case? Like their DNA? Like, I don't know how.
Oh man. I need to upload my info on there because I know there's some criminals on my side of the family.
Yeah,
I just know it.
But I also have family in Pennsylvania. Cribbs, the good old Gribbin.
Oh,
he was crazy.
Gribbin?
The old Gribbs, his offspring, who knows? But I didn't get contacted. Anyway, that is wild. It's the future. It is crazy. Like so many of these things, like on the flip side of the Bermuda Triangle being like solved possibly through technology. There are things that are very good about technology happening.
Truly.
Man, it is.
We're at time. Huh?
Yeah, we're done. Oh my God. I love this episode. I could go on and on. Obviously,
we could talk all night.
These unsolved mysteries sort of thing. So I may just tell more of these and not frame them as a mystery, just a strange and unusual story. We've been so ghost heavy.
That's what we do.
Oh, so good. Missing people that show back up. I want the people to go into the Bermuda Triangle and time travel. All of a sudden they come out of the Bermuda Triangle and it's 2023, but they're from 1946. I love it.
Possible.
My imagination.
These 5 airplanes are going to go
pop out,
land in Florida and be like, boys, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because this is what people talk like in the 40s.
They sure did, Britt. They're like, what are these shenanigans?
What is this car that you're riding?
Oh, they'll probably be like real racist.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
Terribly.
Possibly.
People will be like, you can go back into the Bermuda Triangle now.
Just immediately canceled.
Hey. I have some very exciting news that I have to share with everybody.
Okay.
SkeleTales is now officially on Patreon. Patreon, if you are not aware, is kind of like a membership that you can sign up for and get special bonuses. So we've got episodes that are no longer accessible through your podcast forum. We have unseen videos. We are releasing monthly stories for everybody. And all you have to do is subscribe on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Even if you don't decide to subscribe right away, I've been working hard on it. So just go look at it and watch my little video and give me a thumbs up or something and be like, good job, Britt. You've been working so hard. Well done.
Yes. And as always, review and like and share the podcast. And
absolutely. You don't have to subscribe to do those things. You can just do them for the bottom of your heart. If you have a story that you want to share, then you can email us at our hotbox
at SkeleTalesPodcast@gmail.com. You can also call us on the hotline.
302-689-DEAD, 302-689-3323. And we just love to hear somebody say, hey, what's up? Or you could tell a story if you
We
really
have a couple
wanted to.
stories on there, actually. We're due for another audio episode. So
yes, I love it.
Call on in. You can also support us through our Etsy shop at Etsy, SkeleTales shop.
.com. You just have to search SkeleTales podcast. We'll pop up there over on Etsy. But we have some really awesome merch that is pretty vintage and fun and not what you would expect. Yes. So that's over on Etsy at SkeleTales podcast.
Hey, you can also go follow us over on all the socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook. Come join the community at SkeleTales Community. We're on the TikToks. Just Google SkeleTales podcast and find us in all the places.
Hey, Alissa.
Yeah, Britt.
What did the ghost say at the New Year's party?
Oh my God, why am I thinking so hard? It's Happy Boo Year.
No.
No?
Haunt y'all later.
Oh, fucker. Haunt you later.
Good night.